All righty. Welcome to, the Thursday live stream where we are going to be talking about something that I think a lot of people struggle with, and that is choosing your niche or nicho, however you want to say it. But actually recently, we have been testing a lot of different titles for our videos, and we've been just trying to find our way. And it really wasn't obvious until probably, I would say, this last week. And so what we decided to do is, we had a conversation about it briefly, myself and my son, Scotty, who's going to be joining me here in a minute. But we had a discussion, and we were like, okay, we're not getting the views that we want, but are we actually putting out the right content? The content that's attracting the right people? Is it too competitive of what we're trying to go after? And it was too competitive. So what I wanted to do here today was discuss this further with my son, let you guys listen in on it, and kind of share with you guys what the niche is that we are going to be focusing on moving forward, at least for right now. So this way here, we can kind of see, is this the right direction? I think it is. And I actually had a conversation with someone today, which I'll share more on that here in a little while. And he thought it was a fantastic idea, and it's actually in somewhat of his niche. So I'll leave it out there. And Scotty, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So I got some feedback today from someone that is in this sub niche of the niche that we're going in, and he thought it was a fantastic idea. So all right. That's where we're at. And Scotty, you sent me a screenshot this morning about, and it actually solidified the niche that we are going to be kind of looking at. And I'll be open and honest with you guys. Like, part of the reason why I was resisting this, we'll talk about that. But I want to know in the comments, how many of you right now have your niche picked? Like, exactly who you're serving. And I'm just curious. And the other thing is if you do have your niche and it is picked, I'm curious, do you feel like it might be too competitive for you? And maybe that's why your views are not happening as much as you'd like. I think that's our problem. So let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. And also let us know in the comments, what do you think of Scotty's new hairdo? That's what I want to know.
Well, you got to try to put me on blast. Listen, I like my haircut. He doesn't like it because I've always, for the longest, have done it to like a little side part thing. And I want to mix it up now. And I think it looks good. Listen,
I got to call another timeout. Let's call a little timeout. I think you got to get your right mic hooked up. I don't think your right mic is hooked up. I think that puddle that you stepped in on the way in might have threw you off kilter.
No, you're right. It unplugged it.
Today it's raining here, guys. We got the hurricane blowing through. It's been raining all day. I've already emptied my pool twice. And Scotty stepped in a massive puddle coming in. And if anybody knows anything about Scotty, ever since he was a little boy, he did not like getting wet. Not even a drop of water on him. He'd have to go change his clothes. So we got your mic hooked up yet?
We good now? We good now?
I don't know.
Test.
Sounds a little tinny still. I don't know why.
Really? I just switched it back.
Touch the mic. Go bop, bop, bop. Touch it. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. Yeah. That's it. All right. Maybe it's the rain. All right, cool.
Wait, let me first, before you say anything, let me share what I sent you this morning. I don't have a picture of it. But
if you were prepared, you'd have a picture.
You know what? I can probably pull it up right now, actually. Let me see.
Right? If Scotty was prepared, he'd have that, but he stepped in a puddle on the way in, so it threw him all off.
Here, I got it right here. Here, I have it. Here it is. See? It don't take me long.
But is that going to give it away, or is that going to give away like what we're talking about here? Okay. No. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to show you. Oh, I can't just pick that one. Oh, I guess I can do this. Okay. All right, here it is. I have to do it like this because it was going to show my whole messages. So we're just going to look at this. All right, so this is the screenshot I took this morning that I sent my dad, okay? Because if you guys know me already, in the morning, I have my routine. I go to the gym. When I get back, I cook. I do all that. And then I give myself an hour before I go to school for my job. You know, I'm a PE teacher, if you didn't know that. So, you know, I give myself about an hour of editing and then like some research and all that kind of stuff. And so me and him are always big into, you know, analytics and looking into stuff and how can we make, you know, our channel better and doing all the research and all of that. Right. So anytime I have free time, I'm looking at that. So I finished my video early. I said, let me look at our channel. I'm just curious, like looking at different keywords that's like working good for our channel. Right. And so when you go into this, and we'll probably show this later, when you go into your analytics, you can actually like type in any keywords and it'll go through all your content where you've used those in those titles. And then like I did right here, and then it'll show, you know, all the videos, right, with that keyword, right? So, and it has all the views and all that, right? So anyway, for the heck of it, I was like, it's funny. The last like 3 videos I saw that we use full-time YouTuber in it did decent. That's what I thought. So I looked up full-time, and when I put in full-time, I saw this one. I saw this one. This one wasn't as high as 700. This one right here, ignore this one because this one technically this isn't full-time YouTube. This is full-time teacher. That's a different one.
Yep.
And then these 2. So really, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we had 5 videos that you created that you use full-time YouTuber or full-time in it. And of those, they all were over 1,000 except for one of them. That was 700. Right. So that sparked something, and I was like, okay. So maybe, and then I texted him right away. I sent him the screenshot. I texted him and I said, hey, what if we look into more of that and putting full-time YouTuber in our title? You know, we can still talk about whatever we want to talk about, and we're going to go into that in a minute. And I know he's excited to go into that. But while we're doing that, why go away from the keywords that's working for us right now, which is full-time YouTuber, right? And so that's when I was like, okay, why don't we just sprinkle that in and just see what happens? Like we're going to get, you know, we're going to solidify whether it works or not once we get some more videos put out where we put full-time YouTuber, and we'll even come back to you guys and we'll you know, show you all the results on that if it is something that we're getting looked at or not. And the reason I really thought of this was because, you know, we have a good friend of ours, Ryan Lee, and, you know, his channel's starting to kind of take a little bit, right? And there's one thing that he keeps saying in his videos and his titles that's kind of he's getting known for, and his views are starting to go up, right? And so it's the same thing with us when we were earlier making our channel and we started getting those views from the over 40. Anytime we were putting over 40 in the title, it was doing pretty good, right? And that's when we kind of backed away, which we shouldn't have. And you're going to go into why, which is my fault, okay? So I'll take the blame, whatever. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, it's still not a loss. We're still doing good on the channel. We're still enjoying what we're doing, right? But we got to figure it out again, right? And so I'm like, okay, that was working. But then I looked at other over 40s that we've done recently, and it kind of isn't getting the same views that it was originally, right? Because I think now it's oversaturated. Right. Well, now I'm looking at full-time YouTuber, and I'm seeing all these results on our channel compared to the other ones. And these are like newer, you know, like September 23rd, that was just the other day, right? And it's over 1,000, right? It's better than all the other recent videos. I mean, 50 comments, 55 likes, right? Doing pretty good. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe we start sprinkling this in. So that's something that the research is showing us that, hey, you might want to look into this. You might want to test this out a little bit more. And hey, there's nothing wrong with putting this in your title consistently, as long as you're changing some of the other parts up of what you're going to be talking about, right? So I brought this to your attention this morning.
Yeah. So, okay. So the keyword full-time is not necessarily a niche, although it is a word that seems to be working when people are trying to get started in YouTube. They want to usually go full-time. Like that's like one of the things that they're trying to achieve. Right. So actually I'm going to do something right here. I'm going to pull this up right now. All right. So guys, if you haven't seen this yet, this is actually, I'll get over to it here. Let me move it here. So this is a little guide that we created called the 100K YouTube Creator Business Plan. If you want a copy of this, in the comments, just put 100K. And Scotty, if you can load that up in the description too. So I didn't have that done. So if you could do that. But basically this goes through I want to get here to the 10,000 foot view, because this is like the entire map. If you guys are brand new, you know, I've been building YouTube channels now for over 15 years. If I'll go right here, you can see them. So like right here in this one right here, this was the first one that I created years ago, and that only had 16,000 subscribers, and that one did 6 figures a year, multiple years. All right. And then there's this one right here, that's our current one, and that's brand creators. And that one there has 97,000. Actually, right now it's got 99,400. We're almost at the 100,000 mark. And this one right here is the one that we're working on, like right now. So this is the one that we're working on right now. Now, everything that I've ever done starts here. It starts with this here, with the niche. Okay. So that's kind of where we're focusing. Now, you might think to yourself, like, and for us, it was like, okay, I want to help people that are starting on YouTube. All right. I want to help people that are on YouTube, and I want to help them do better on YouTube. Right. There's so many people doing that. And I knew that going into this. So I was like, okay, so what can we do? What can we do? And I'm going to actually change the color here just so I can make it a little bit different. What can we do? So we started playing with the idea. Oops, that's not what I wanted there. Where is it? Here it is. So we started playing around with the idea of focusing on live video. Okay. Because that's something that I'm doing a lot of, and that's what's helped us. That's what's helped us on the, the channel over at Brand Creators, is doing live video. So that was one. All right. Then I was like, okay, the other thing is like using the live and then showing people how they can do content. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge here writing with my mouse, but you're going to understand. Okay. So those are like two buckets that we were playing with, right? So we're like, okay, the niche is YouTube, right? The niche is YouTube. This is like the niche right here. And then these here, let me change this. These here, these are like sub niches, right? That we were doing. And okay, I'm going to give it a try. What we found out is like live streaming is not that big of a niche, because people, yes, there's people looking to how to do live streaming, but people sometimes also don't know that they could be or should be doing live streaming. So then I started thinking like, okay, that's not really going to work for us. So now we have to start just keep playing around with like, what other angles can we come up with? And that's where we came up with, and I'll actually share my other screen here in a minute. But that's where we came up with, and I tested it by doing like over 40, right? I did like, if you're over 40, you must start a YouTube channel. And so let me go ahead and change this color back to green again.
Yeah, while you're changing that too, live stream, the other thing that we noticed too is majority of that market is in like the gaming area. Yep. And so that's where if we want to go down a route of just talking about live streaming, we would have to cater to that audience. Yep. And that's not really what our goal was, or we were trying to hit YouTube channels, not hitting gaming channels. Mm-hmm. So that's also where we kind of were like, okay, if we're going to do this, then we might have to pivot a little bit on what we're going after as far as, sub niching down. Right. Yep. Anyway, you can continue.
Yeah. So like, this is where we're focusing. We're still focusing here. This is a brand new channel. Yes, we got monetized in 3 months, less than 3 months,
83
right?
days.
Yep. So we were able to do that. We hit that, but we're still not where we need to be yet. So a lot of people think like, as soon as I pick that niche, that's got to be the niche that I stick with. And that's wrong. You do not. It's going to evolve. You can pivot. You have permission to pivot. All right. And so, yes, sometimes you can start really, really small and narrow, but that's not going to get you to where you want to go. So in the very beginning, like we chose that sub niche, right? So we went here and we said, okay, here's our sub niche number 1. Okay. That's sub niche number 1. And that was the live thing, right? So then what we started doing is, to get attention, we started to create videos, a bunch of videos that are going to be around that topic. All right. And then you kind of look at the results and you go, oh, it's not doing that great right now. Maybe we need to try some other things. So generally what we're doing is we're going to add another sub niche, not saying that we'll never talk about that topic again, right? But then we're going to pick another sub niche and we're going to basically repeat this again. Okay. So this is, we're in the really discovering what's the niche, the sub niches that we're going to be able to go after this broader niche. Cause this broader niche for us is like YouTube, creators, you know what I mean? Like that's who it's for. And I'm going to try to do this here and that's not really working that great, but you get what I'm saying, right? So it's like a YouTube creator. That's who we're trying to target. But the problem is it's so saturated and they're so big. Now that's not saying we won't be that broad ever. We will. Okay. But these are the different angles that we're coming in at our niche. So we're literally, we're literally coming in here and we're like pointing, right? Or actually I should say this, we're trying to reach out. So this way here, we can get the traffic to come to us. Right. And that's the attention piece right here. And then once we get that, then we're able to help them, show our personality, and the big one, capture email. We've already started doing this. Okay. The email side of things. We'll do more. We'll do more on that here coming up in the future as well. But I just want I want to be totally transparent with you guys. Like we're building this channel. This channel is going to be a 6-figure and possibly a 7-figure business eventually. It might take us 3 to 4 years to get there. But this is what it takes in order to get to where you want to go. Okay. You have to keep exploring and testing. Now, it doesn't mean test one video and then you decide. It's got to be multiple videos. And I want to actually pull up the other screen here real quick. And if you guys have any questions on this, please let us know. Okay. Just let us know in the comments if you have any questions. And also let us know, what is your niche? What is the niche that you're targeting right now? I'd be curious to know. All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here now. Let me share this tab. And this is our channel. Okay. So this is the most popular as of right now. Okay. As of right now, you can see right here why people over 40 must start a YouTube channel in 2024. Okay. That one's the best. Okay. The next one that came in was this one. I recorded this for Dave Ramsey listeners who are over 50 with no retirement. Okay. This one here did really good too, but it didn't have anything specific other than top 9 YouTube niches that grow fast and earn the most. So that was more of a broader one that we threw in there. So you're going to see here, and I'm going to share with you the buckets, like how we're coming up with our buckets. Now, I did want to time out here for a second. I want to time out because Scotty, like the other thing that was a concern for me that was kind of holding me back on starting to look at some of this data was that you are involved. Mm-hmm. Right. So you and I started this whole thing. We're like, hey, you're editing all my videos, right? You're a good editor. You need to show people how to do editing. Like you'd be great at it. And maybe what we'll do is you and I will team up, we'll create a channel and we'll show people how to do live streams. We'll show people how to edit, how to do simple, content creation. We'll do all that stuff. It'll be great. And then we found out, wait a minute, this might not work right now. And so I kind of held back because we tested the one on 40 and I'm like, or over 40. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm starting to get traction here, but now what happens? Because now Scotty's not going to really be able to be like one of the lead singers, if you will, right? You're not going to be out there. Although someone had said last week, but Scotty, we need you for this other stuff, right? And so right now, and you said this the other day, you go, I don't care how we get people in. We got to get the people in and then we can help them. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. So again, I'm just being transparent with everybody out there. Like that was a thing that was kind of holding me back because I had Scotty involved. If Scotty wasn't involved, I would have probably went faster because I would have felt like, well, that's what I'm doing. That's who I am. I'm over 50, like I'm over 40. Like, why wouldn't I do that? But because I had him involved, which I want him involved, it kind of made me feel like I couldn't do that or I shouldn't do that. But now we're thinking about it differently. And there's also something that we're going to have Scotty start playing around with here soon that will definitely be something that we can do. So I want to just highlight some of these real quick. Okay. So if I go down here, there's your 51, right? Full-time YouTuber, right? This one here, now this one here that you did 5 things I wish I knew when I started my new YouTube channel. Now that's a broad bucket. Yep. Right. So this is let me for a broad bucket. Let's do like, what color we want to do on that?
Let's do like maybe a blue or something.
Do a bluish. Let me do like more of like an aqua. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this one here, that's also a broad bucket. This here, broad.
Yep.
Right? This here, broad. Broad. Okay. Now these did okay, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do as good as the other ones could, right? Because if we look at these two up here, right? This is over 40. This one here is no retirement.
Yep.
Yeah, and over 50. So over 50, no retirement. Okay. Now, down here, I'm going to go back to the other color. I wish I could save my colors, but I guess I can't. 5 huge lies about being a full-time YouTuber that no one talks about. There we are, full-time YouTuber, another bucket. This here, I want to highlight this. This is another test that we are doing. Retire. Over 40, YouTube content creation. This here is new YouTube channel. Okay, there's that broader bucket again. YouTube experts will hate me for saying this. Another broad bucket. Another broad bucket. This one tiny YouTube channel made me 600,000 without ads or sponsors. Broad bucket. Okay. Now, down here, full-time YouTuber in my 40s. This one here, my 4-hour workday as a 52-year-old full-time. Okay. So as you can see, there's something that's standing out to me. And it's over 40, over 50. And this one here did really good because I believe it had retirement in it. This one had retirement in it. So what are we going to do? I'm going to start creating content and start targeting the over 40 and the over 50, but not just the over 40 and 50 because everyone's doing that. It's going to be for people that are my age or older that need money to retire. YouTube's going to be the vehicle. It's going to be people that are maybe retired and they want to supplement their income, or people that want to retire early and they're in their 40s. Okay. So if we now go over to here real quick, I got another little screen here to share. Can you see that, Scotty?
Yep.
Okay. So now if we do this, I'm going to go, this is YouTube. I'm not going to spell it out. Okay. This is the YouTube, and that is technically the main niche, right? That's the main niche. Okay. But now underneath that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, okay, over 40. So over, and we're going to go, well, 50 I did there. I'll do 40 here. Right. All right. So over 40, over 50. Then here, full time. Right. Full time. Don't mind my writing. Okay. Full time YouTube. And get this, over 50 or 40, whatever. We'll say over 40. Okay. Then we got another one over here. Retire. Right. Retire. And I'm going to show you the one we're going to give Scotty here in a minute, right? That's retire. Then we got broad. Okay. This is the broad bucket. This is really hard to draw with your mouse.
You're doing great, man. That's some good
Is that good?
some good writing.
And then this one over here, what could we do that Scotty could get involved? So I started thinking, I'm like, Scotty's 26. There's something out there that is pretty popular, and people that are in this sub niche are probably not thinking about YouTube. But if you showed it to them, they would probably be interested. And that is people that are young, like Scotty, that are trying to not fire their boss. They're trying to follow this fire movement. Oh, this is going to be hard. All right. Look at this. This is good artwork, huh? So the fire movement, what is that? Financial independence, retire early. Okay. If you've never heard of it, look it up. It's big. So that's something that Scotty can start targeting, because Scotty can say, hey, I'm 26. I want to retire by the time I'm 40. And just to be real here, guys, I'm 52. I'm probably never going to retire because what I'm doing right now is what I'm going to be doing. Like, I like this stuff. It's enjoyable to me. I like helping people. So, yes, I'm going to have investments and I have all that stuff, right? So I will have money that will be coming in from investments, but I'm not necessarily going to stop. So retirement for me isn't like, oh, I'm going to retire and go sit and put my feet up. And I don't think it ever will be for Scotty either, but it would be cool to say, hey, let's start documenting your journey from 26 years old to where you want to retire by the time you're 40. And now you can do one video a month, just updating people on the fire of your fire, right? And how we're using YouTube to be the vehicle that's going to help you get there. And what does fire movement have to do with all of this stuff? It basically allows us to, again, keep on this theme, retire. And all of this stuff is able to happen because everything that we're doing is pointing to YouTube being the vehicle to allow all this stuff to happen. So that's the angle. That's the angle. Any questions on that? Scotty, do you have any questions on that? That was a little bit of a lesson there.
No. I think it's good. I think honestly, just try, like you said, like these are our buckets, kind of sticking to them and just kind of cycling through. I am just really curious, honestly, with how it's going to be for me to do a video with the fire movement. I'm like the kind of, I guess, audience I'm going to get from that. I'm curious. Someone did have a good question. Said, I would like for my niche to be for people over 50 years old. How do I find sub niches, mini niches that will be beneficial instead of being so broad? Well, first you got to find your main niche, and then you just got to find things that are around it. Like that's what we're doing, right? We just showed it right here. So if you saw this, if you just tuned in, I mean, look at this. So our main niche is YouTube, right? Building a YouTube channel, growing on YouTube, right? But then these are all the sub niches we found off of it. And what we're doing is things that, number one, we know or we're trying, and then also what we've believe in and what we can talk about, right? Like he's over 50, so he can talk about that, right?
Yep.
For the fire movement, I'm young and want to retire by I'm 40, right? I can talk about that, right?
Yep.
Being a full-time YouTuber, he can talk about that. I can talk about that and of what I'm striving to go towards, right?
Yep.
So like you don't necessarily have to be there yet, but you have to show the roadmap of how you're going to. Maybe if you're documenting, you can do it that way. If you're not documenting, if it's you've already lived this and you live it, then do that. The retire is another one, right? We're both talking about retirement, so we can both kind of go into that, right? Broad, when we're saying broad, we're talking about like things as far as like I might do a video on editing if it ever comes up, or he might do a video on, YouTube growth, right? Because it still goes to our YouTube niche, but it's just, a little bit different. It's more broad that I'm not so niche down, right? So yeah, definitely like you'll be able to do that. And my biggest thing is like for you, if you're starting this channel, right, and you're trying to target those over 50, the key thing is whatever you're trying to target, doesn't matter what niche, whether it's over 50, whether it's I'm trying to come up with something, bass fishing, like you like to say, right? Any of that, you got to start by all your videos. You need to post with having that, with the intention of that being in your title, your description. Like you need YouTube to know that's what your content's about and who you want to push it to. Because after we did the over 40 and we started posting other videos on over 40, now all of our videos are pushed to the demographic between 40 and 65. And that's why a lot of my videos on the channel don't do as good, because they're getting pushed to the older crowd rather than the younger crowd, right? Because that's what we're getting known for. So we could, if we wanted to, which we're not going to, but if we wanted to, we could switch it and make it all to young people my age, right? Mm-hmm. Like we could target all 20-year-olds starting. Like we could do that. It would take time. It's not going to automatically going to happen like after even a month. It might take 2-3 months to, really kind of pivot that. And so then you can start getting, that traction from that audience. But you got to keep, like you like to say, keep taking at bats and keep putting it out there. But you have to do it with the intention of whatever it is. You're going for 50, I would say, over 50 or whatever, right? Or the 50-year-old, like whatever. But you got to keep putting that in there. And that's especially starting out new or especially pivoting. You need to do that. On Brand Creators, it was a channel all about Amazon, e-commerce, right?
Yep.
And we switched that to Etsy, and it took about probably 2.5 months before we got any traction on any of the Etsy stuff.
Yep.
Like it took time for us to fill the whole database of YouTube to understand that our content, our channel that already had, a good amount of subscribers on it that wasn't getting a lot of views, to say, hey, we're going to also switch over here now. Now we're going to teach this, right? Or we're going to talk about this. So that's my biggest advice for, especially when you're picking your niche or you're going into a new channel or you're pivoting your channel.
Yep.
Is you really got to let YouTube know what you're going to be talking about, and you got to consistently post. And I'm not saying once a month. You got to post 3 a week. Let them know, or else you're going to wait 6 months, and it'll happen in 6 months, but it'll take time.
All right, I want to share. Hold on 1 second. Hold that question 1 second. I want to share this real quick. Okay. And I was having the conversation with you about 2 weeks ago, and it took a little bit before you got it, but because I think other people might feel the same thing. Right. So people would say like, okay, Scott, why would you want Dave Ramsey's audience? Let me just put it here. Why would you want his audience? Because they don't care about YouTube channels. Like why are you going to, basically want to reach those people? Well, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, Dave Ramsey invited me to go speak on his stage. Okay. So here I am. I'm going to try to do a little drawing here. Look at, hey, here I am.
That's cute.
I'm in good shape. Look at that. So there I am, right? That's me. Okay. That's me.
You're a twig.
I know. I got to get building up some muscle. That's me. Okay. Now, Dave Ramsey says, hey, Scott, how would you like to come speak at my event? And would you share with people that are behind on retirement and that they need help because they either, if someone's past 60, it's going to be hard for them to save money. They need to do something to supplement their retirement. So there's a couple of different things I could do, right? I could go up there and I could introduce his audience, right? His whole audience right here, right? These are all of his people, right? These are all these people in this audience. And let's just say that there's 50,000 people in here. Okay. All of these people, they're in there and they're in that position. They're at a Dave Ramsey event, all wanting to learn how to retire better, right? These are all people. They're all different shapes and sizes, just like it is in the real world, right? So there they are. Okay. And then they're all looking up here at me and they're listening to me. And I'm like, hey, if you're right now struggling, I guarantee right now, if you're over 40, you probably have some knowledge in your head that you could probably teach other people. Is that true? Do you know something? Have you done something for 10 years, 15, 20 years, either your career, or maybe you're a woodworker, maybe you're a gardener, and you're good at something. Like everyone usually has something they're good at or they have a lot of knowledge for. And I'd be like, raise your hand. And everybody would raise their hand pretty much. And then I'd say, cool. How would you like if people would actually pay you to show them what you do? And they'd be like, yeah. And some people are like, no, I don't want to do any work. Okay, cool. So you get some people in the audience that aren't going to be there. But let's just say that, let me change my color here. Let's just say that all of these people in the back, they're like, yeah, Scott, I like this idea. And I'm like, cool. Because did you know that on YouTube, if you post videos, you can make money on affiliate sales. You can make money on AdSense. You can get sponsors if you have a big enough audience. And you can even sell a course on how to grow bigger tomatoes. You can do it. And they're like, really? I didn't know that. I mean, everyone here that's watching this thinks like everyone knows what we know. That's not true. So now if I tell them, hey, guess what? I've got a guide that shows you how to do all this. Basically, it gives you the whole blueprint. You want a copy? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Go to, and I'd give them a link or something. In this case, I'd say, if you're watching this, if you go to 100K, or put 100K in the comments, I'll send you a copy. Right. And so that now these people are going to enter their name and email address because they want to hear more. So they're going to basically give me their attention. So do you see how I took an audience that I know is popular? There's people out there struggling in this audience, and I'm just going out there and I'm fishing in this audience to try to see if people would listen to me because I have a way to help them. And that's it. So I guarantee there's an audience in your niche of people that are probably not directly in your niche, but it's someone that you could share your message or, your skill and get people's attention to where they're going to want to follow you or they're going to want to listen to you. So that's what I'm saying. So like right now, I see videos, I pay attention now to Dave Ramsey, not because I'm a Dave Ramsey fan, because I actually, little secret here, I'm not really a fan. I think he's kind of arrogant at times. And I think a lot of his stuff is outdated. Yeah. He's like, don't have debt. Yeah. Duh. No kidding. Right. Like I get it. Like give us something new. But he has a lot of his callers and they call in and they're like, I have no retirement. I'm just going to stop there. I have no retirement. And so now I post a video like I did right here. Let me go over to that page now and I'll share this tab. And let me go ahead and delete all those. And if you look at this one right here, can you see that? 26,000 views 3 weeks ago. I got the attention. I recorded this video for Dave Ramsey listeners who are over 50 with no retirement. And I got 26,000 people to watch that video. It did 50 times better than most of our videos. So you think I should do more of those? Probably. And now the hard thing with Scotty was like, yeah, but those people aren't into building YouTube. And I'm like, not yet. But we're going to get them interested. And then they're going to need to know how. They're not searching for how to start a YouTube channel because they don't know about it yet. So we're just bringing the attention to them by going to where they already are. Right? So guys, in the comments, let me know if that makes sense and if that was helpful. And if it was, smash the like button. That would really help us out. Okay, Scotty, let's go with another question. I think you said you had a question there.
Yep.
Okay. So do you think over 40 is a better phrase than over 50 for CTR? Maybe, but honestly, I don't necessarily, every video I don't want to be over 40 because over 50, it might not get as many searches or it might not be as many, but it's still really specific. So I'm going to mix it up. I might do, if you're over 40 or 50, right? I might throw that in there, or I might just do one that says, if you're over 40. Now, here's the thing. By me putting in the video, advice from a 52-year-old full-time YouTuber, if I have that in there, YouTube's going to automatically know that this is going to be for older people because 52 is in the title, right? So hopefully we answered that question. If you turn on the notify subscribers for new videos, might you hurt each other's click-through rates for the algorithm since it would be two different audience ages? I don't know if I understand that.
No, I know what he's saying. So our thing is this, right? Yes, I think honestly, I think it did a little bit before. It's like I was saying before. Once we started playing into the over 40, then when I started posting my videos, even though mine wasn't targeting a younger audience, it was still kind of me being in it, just talking about generic stuff, like broad stuff of, editing or, try this hack or whatever. Right. So automatically demographics going to an older audience and they probably don't want to hear from a 26-year-old kid that's just going to tell them an editing hack. Right. Now, this is where it's different. If I find a common ground with them, now they're going to be more interested in looking into what I have to say. So now when I talk about retirement, how many 26-year-olds are really talking about retirement and, their plan? They might have some sort of interest because I can relate on talking about retirement now. Right. And so that's our kind of plan going forward now is it doesn't, like he said, everything doesn't have to be over 40, over 50, whatever. But if we talk about things that there's a common ground there, it should be able to generate some views all the way around, whether it says over 40 or not. We know our demographic is going to be over 40 because we've already seasoned our account to be like that. we're between 40 to 65. So if I can say, you know, how I plan to retire in my 40s, how I plan to retire by 50, you know, how a 26-year-old is using the FIRE movement to retire, you know, whatever, right? We're still talking about retirement now. And now that's something that generally is talked about once you're 30, 40, 50 years old, you know? So that's where now I can kind of start playing my role of, you know, adding to it without taking away. Like you said, I think it was hurting a little bit that I was saying I wasn't saying younger, but I am younger and I wasn't saying anything to really relate with anyone. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and again, this might not work. I don't know. We are going to test this out. We're going to see, but I think this is the right steps that we need to do. And I think we know where we kind of messed up. And I think it's like you said, where, you know, you were kind of holding back a little bit because you were going off of, you know, me being included in it.
Yep.
But now knowing that I still can be included, but still can give value to an older audience, I think that's something that kind of speaks for itself. And I think that's really what's going to help this channel out.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, we had another question, I think. Daily Him came in. I'm late here today, but I've been posting daily for 3 months with a few gaps over the past 2 weeks. Congratulations, by the way. I just feel like my views have been going down, even though I've narrowed down more. That might be why the views are going down, because you've narrowed down more, right? It's like if we go too narrow, then it could be harder to get those views. So that could be the issue. That's why what we're doing here is we're having these different buckets, right? Like we're creating these different buckets, and hopefully by me sharing with you guys this here, let me go back here. By sharing this messy artwork here, but you get the idea, right? Is if we're able to, these are buckets now. Okay.
You gotta open it back up.
Oh, it's not in there? Oh, there it is. Okay. Can you see it now, right?
Yeah, I got to get us to the side, though.
I
don't have your other layout on here. Oh, here we go.
There you go. Well, that's the bigger one, but yeah, that's fine. So over 40, that's a bucket. Full-time YouTuber, and I'm putting in there over 40, that's a bucket. Okay. Retire, bucket. Semi-retirement, I just threw that one in. That's another bucket. Then we have here, this is our broad. This is something we can talk generally about YouTube. How to get more subscribers, you know, how much YouTube pays you for 1,000 views, those types of things, right? How to create better thumbnails like that. That's the broad one. And then now we're going to add this one in here, right? So these are the different buckets. So right now we've got, and we can mix and match these. We can do over 40 full-time YouTube. We can do over 40 retirement. We can do semi-retirement over 40. We can do FIRE movement, 30-year-olds. You know, we can play around with all this stuff, but these are the angles that we're trying to come in and get into the YouTube education niche, if that's what you want to call it, right? And that's what we're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that what Scotty and I are doing right here, we are going to help other people. And it's probably going to be people that are over 40 at this stage of the game. We're going to be helping these people. And I mean helping them. We're going to probably help them because we're going to have a workshop that we're going to do. We're probably going to do an in-person workshop. We'll probably do an online workshop. We know that we're going to be working with individuals here eventually. It's just a matter of getting those people and getting their attention. And then we're going to be able to say, hey, do you want us to help you a little bit closer? Well, we're doing a workshop in a week, and we're going to do, a 2-day workshop where we're going to basically help you, right? Like that's going to happen. I know it is. I've done it before. I did it in the photography niche. I did it in the e-commerce niche. And here we are doing it in this niche. It's finding the right angle that's going to allow you to get the attention. And then once we get the attention, like I said, if I go back to this guy here, let's see. Where is it? Come on now. Oh, you got me set up there, I think. There we go. So, you know what I mean? So then we're here, right? And as long as we follow this little roadmap, we just basically, we keep going out there and doing the sub niche 1, sub niche 2, or the buckets, if we want to call them 4. And let's just say we have 4 of them, right? I'll put some dots in between here so it doesn't look too crazy, right? And these are our sub. I'm just going to put sub. Oh, crap. That wasn't good. Sub niches, right? That's what these are. Sub niches. Okay. And then what we're doing is we're going to be getting the attention from these buckets by creating videos and by doing all this over here. And then that's naturally going to help us build our email list. And then from there, that's going to deepen the relationship, right? Right over here. And then we get to do this. Let me make this one green because this is what everyone is kind of waiting for, but they aren't patient enough for. And that's this right here, is making the offers. That's where now we get to do this. But it takes all this up here in order to make this all happen. Okay. And guys, if you guys are just tuning in or you skipped forward, this is our $100,000 roadmap, our YouTube creator roadmap from what I've done over the past 15 years. If you want a copy of this, just put 100K in the comments and we'll send you a copy. All right. And if I scroll down here a little bit, let me scroll down a little bit in this doc. This is the attention piece, but you can see right here, this is all we're focusing on. You first have to find the niche. Okay. And that's what we're doing right now. We're literally fishing, right? We're just fishing in different ponds and we're just seeing, hey, where can we get the most attention right now to bring in people so we can get the momentum? And that's really what we're doing. All right. Oh, I did want to show something else here. Do we have any other questions? If you guys have any questions, let us know. Let us know in the comments if you have any other questions. Also, if you guys have found value in this today, please go ahead and smash the like button. Maybe subscribe to the channel. That would be cool. We've got some cool videos. I'm going to share, if you guys hang tight, I'm going to share a video idea that came today, and I'll explain how it came to me and how it aligns with exactly what we're talking about here today. So it's a video I'm going to probably shoot tomorrow. It'll probably air on Friday or Saturday. And it all came because of today. I had a conversation with someone and yeah. So anyway, do we have any questions, Scotty?
No, but I do want to add something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually something I meant to send you the other day. So I'm on Instagram, not crazy, but I'm on Instagram a little bit. And I'm also on Threads, which is like an extension of Instagram. And I like it for a lot of positive things and stuff like that. I think Threads is really good. It's a better Twitter, honestly. But anyway, I follow vidIQ. So I get a bunch of notifications from vidIQ, which if you don't know vidIQ, it's pretty much like a tool and extension on YouTube, which gives you a lot of help with just different things with titles now, with AI. It helps you see other videos, compare them with other channels. It's got a bunch of stuff. We do have a link for that too. You can check that out in the description. But I found this post that they did. And the reason I just thought of this now was because someone just said something about evergreen content, right? And this made me think of this. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to read this to you. So never delete old YouTube videos. This video, and showing the video analytics down below, this video got 90 views after a month. It was a flop. 3 years later, it had 120 views. Still a flop. But 758 days later, so about 4 to 5 years later, it sits at 245,000 views, getting 5,000 views daily. YouTube doesn't give up on your videos, and neither should you. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I mean, look at this graph.
That's great.
Years. And all of a sudden just took, for some reason, it took. So this made me think of a lot of things, right? Your videos are never done. Like, they're up there. You could have a video 6 years from now pop, right? You could have one a year from now. I mean, we've had that on brand creators where it takes a year and all of a sudden just randomly it's like, why are we getting, hundreds of views, thousands of views a day, right? It's weird. Mm-hmm. But there's also, the reason I wanted to bring it to your attention, Dad, was because this made me think, and we kind of briefly talked about this, of going into some of our old videos and either changing the title, changing the thumbnail, especially ones that are getting impressions still.
Yeah.
And just trying it out and just seeing, if that helps anything with it. And if one of those videos ends up taking later on, because if it's still getting impressions now, it could mean that, as long as we fix some of the things, we could, potentially have another video that could take, right? So not giving up on any of those old videos is something big. And you've always talked about evergreen content. And And if you look at the content we're making, like, and that's the one thing I will say with like certain topics of like news and stuff, like news is okay for like the short term, but the long term is kind of hard because a lot of the times that stuff kind of goes away or it's updated, it's outdated, whatever, right? But when you talk about like what we're talking about, like, yes, some of this stuff with YouTube might be outdated. One, if you're reading this or if you're watching this 6 years from now, but I guarantee the stuff about retirement is going to be pretty much similar.
100%.
Right? Talking about using YouTube for retirement is going to be similar. Right? So everything is still going to align years later. And we might still come up. How many times are you on YouTube? You'll watch it now. You might not do this as much as we do because we are always analyzing everything when we watch a video, even if it has nothing to do with what we're looking at. But like, I'll click on a video because maybe I need to look up like how to make this recipe or whatever, right? I'll look something up and then I just always breeze over like when this was created. And sometimes I'll be on a video from 9 years ago.
I know.
9 years ago.
9 years.
And I'm like, I'm watching this now and I'm still going to use that information. That recipe that you showed me in the crock pot or whatever, like from 9 years ago, it still applies now. So I'm still going to look at that video and watch it, right? And I think what we're doing for our content is definitely going to be something that's still going to be evergreen content that in the future people can still be looking at and say, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or even just some of them for even the inspirational aspect, like the one that you did, why you must start a channel over 40. You can watch that 20 years from now. It's still going to apply, you know,
100%.
like, because it's still talking about YouTube. YouTube is still going to be relevant. I truly 100% believe it. I'll pull a Gary V. I feel it in my mind, in my heart, my soul. I feel that it's going to be here. All right.
That's right.
I mean, YouTube has changed the game, honestly, but if it hasn't shown you already, it's been around for so long. Right. And it's only getting better. But with that being said is, you know, this is going to be evergreen content. So in your niche, like make sure like it's fine to give updates. I mean, on brand creators, they give updates, you know, almost once a week, right? You give breaking news pretty much of things that are going on. And those things still might be relevant later on. But besides that, they're also doing stuff that's going on in documenting, right? And giving those things because that's stuff that later on people can still look back on and look at Etsy stuff and be like, oh, that still helped me start a new channel.
Yeah.
Right. So like, that's the biggest thing I think people need to understand when they're picking their niche or just looking into their stuff is, or creating their content, I guess, is make sure that it is evergreen content. And a lot of it can be turned into evergreen content, whatever it is. Bass fishing, right? Fishing has been around for how long? How many videos have you seen of teaching someone how to fish? Just because it was made 5 months ago doesn't mean the one from 9 years ago is irrelevant.
Exactly.
You know? So, I mean,
fish didn't change.
No, it's just it might be a newer version, right?
Or it might be a different lure. It might be a different technique, whatever. Yeah.
But then you get someone who's over 40 that doesn't want to listen to someone that's newer, wants to listen to the old school way. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to look at the video from 9 years ago.
Right.
Right. I just wanted to add that point in there. I thought that was good.
Yeah. DBC says a really good point here. So the algorithm is like a dartboard and we are shooting topic darts on the dartboard or topics at the algorithm. That's 100% right. And I would say that your title is the thing that's going to tell YouTube what your video is about. Okay. Now I have noticed this vidIQ has a pretty cool new thing too. We keep talking about it. So I'll actually demo this real quick. Scotty, we got a link in the description too if people want to sign up for vidIQ.
I believe so. It should be there.
All right. If you guys want to check it out, if you haven't done so already, check it out. You'll buy us a cup of coffee if you go through. But I want to share this real quick.
Yeah, it's in the description. It's there.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Let me share this tab. Can you see my?
Not yet.
Finger? No. Well, you might be able to, but it's because
I got you now. Oh, that's mine.
That's
Here's yours.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Yeah. All right. So we're in here now. Let me go ahead and let me get rid of that. Let's just go into this right here. Now I'll go into this video. Okay. And check this out. Actually, I'm going to go in and I'm going to like edit it. I'm going to go into editing it. So this way here, we can kind of look and see what happens here. So immediately when I go in now, you're going to see something happen. Here's these suggestions. Watch this.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Okay. And I've noticed, Scotty, this is what I noticed the other day. It's going to take a minute.
Have you
But
used one yet?
I'd used one yesterday. So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So see this right here. I thought that it was taking the title and then it was finding suggestions, but I actually found out that I was wrong because the other day I had just a generic title. It was like new YouTube video, let's just say, right? Like I titled it somewhat, but not like I didn't make it as the title was. And it started saying things or giving me suggestions of what I was talking about in the video. So I know that what it's doing is it's going in and transcribing the video in real time, and then it's pulling from that and it's giving me suggestions. So my point is, even if you don't have an idea for your title, which you should go into this, you should, but if you go in there, it's literally giving us ideas. So right here, it's why people over 40 must start a YouTube channel in 2024. That was my original title. Now it's went in, it's transcribed my video, and now it's coming with start a YouTube channel in 2024 and get ahead of 90% of people over 40. YouTube versus Facebook. Which platform is best for people over 40 in 2024? What will your life look like 1 year after starting a YouTube channel at 40?
I like
From
that
zero,
one.
yeah, from zero to hero. How I built a successful YouTube channel in 3 months at 42. Now, if I want to get other suggestions, I just go ahead and spin it again. Why 2024 is the perfect time for people over 40 to start a YouTube channel. Maybe we do why 2025 is the perfect time, right?
Yep.
You won't believe why people over 40 are flocking on YouTube in 2024. The silent problem holding people back over 40 from you. Now, even if I didn't want to use these for this video, I could create new videos off of these. Okay. So this is coming in from vidIQ. This is a plugin that you basically hook up to Chrome and then it'll give you these things. It also down here, it'll give you AI description generator, all that stuff, tags, all of that stuff. But I wanted to share that because the titles are telling YouTube who to put your video in front of. So if you don't have little things in there like over 40 or retirement or fire movement, if you don't have any of that stuff, it's not going to know to go out there and do it unless you've talked about it in your video. Okay. So I just think it's really, really important that we understand that. That comes first, title. And if you guys need help with titles, we've got a swipe file we can give you. If you want to put hooks in the comments, you can go ahead and get a copy of that. There's like 10 titles in there that we've used over and over and over again, and they work really well. And we basically templatized it so you can actually plug and play some different ideas there. We've had a lot of people download that already. If you guys want it, just put hooks in the comments and we'll send you a copy. All right. Now, on that note, I did want to share something that happened today and how it made me think of a title that I'm going to shoot a video on. I'm going to shoot that video either tomorrow or Friday, or tomorrow is Friday, Saturday. So let me go ahead and share this real quick. All right. First, let me tee it up. Let me share the story. So today I had, it's funny. It's ironic that I had a meeting with my financial advisor, and we had a little monthly, or not even a monthly, we do like a quarterly meeting. And so he's also on YouTube. I actually found him from a YouTube video. Now get this, he's a YouTuber, doesn't have a lot of subscribers. He's got like, I don't know, maybe 2,500 subscribers. And he got me as a client he's managing my investment portfolio, who's making money on managing my portfolio. So when people think they got to have this massive audience, you don't, because I found his stuff. I liked his stuff and I reached out to him and now we're working together. But he also was picking my brain about some things about that. But I was also shooting some ideas by him. And I'm like, I'm going to start getting into your niche as far as sharing with people how they can use YouTube as a vehicle to help them in retirement. He's like, Scott, that's awesome. That's a great idea, because you're right. There's a lot of people that are struggling. They don't have a lot of money right now saved, but they've got time. So if you've got some time, meaning if you've got a few hours a week, you can start planting those seeds and they might turn into recurring revenue or just extra revenue that you can then invest if you want to, or you can just use it as a revenue stream for retirement, right? He's like, Scott, that's a great idea. So then I got thinking, I'm like, how can I come up with a title that can talk about retirement, talk about my financial advisor? What could I do? So I came up with a title. I'm going to share it with you guys. Hopefully no one rips me off here, because there are some people out there that have done that. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to go ahead and share it anyway, because I don't care. I want to share it with you guys. Let me go ahead and pull up that screen right now, and it'll give my title. All right. There you go. My financial advisor approved my YouTube retirement plan at 52. So what happens here? Number one, the one keyword I want into just about all of my titles is YouTube. I want YouTube in there, okay? Because I want YouTube to know that I'm targeting YouTube people. I also put in there financial advisor. I haven't done that one yet. So financial advisor, what does financial advisors have to do with what I just shared with you guys on the sub niches? Retirement. And I have the keyword retirement in there. And I have 52. So if someone saw this, my financial advisor approved my YouTube retirement plan at 52. And let's say that this is served up to people that are either pre-retirement or are retired. They're probably going to want to click on that video to see what the heck I'm talking about. So, Scotty, what do you think of that title?
That's solid.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, literally I just came up with it. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I think that that's good. How can I position this to where my financial advisor approved my YouTube plan, which he did, by the way.
No, that sounds great. Honestly, I'd click on that for sure.
Okay, good. I like it. So there you go, guys. So that literally happened today because of my conversation with my financial advisor, knowing the buckets that I want to attack. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm just reading the comments here. All right, awesome. What do you guys think? Think that's a good title? Let me know in the comments. But that's literally what I'm doing all the time is I am thinking to myself, what is going to be a good title that's going to invoke curiosity? What is going to lean into someone's desires and maybe just something that someone is looking to do, right? And to me, this kind of covers all the bases. So I can't wait. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up my phone. I'm going to get my little mic, and I'm going to record that story, that conversation, kind of what I just shared with you. But then I'm going to probably actually pull up the Dave Ramsey calculator, the retirement, calculator. And I'm going to basically show like, okay, if I took my brand creators ad money, only my ad money, and if I was to invest that for the next 10 years, what would that turn into? I'll do that. And then I'll also say, or here, let's do this. Let's not invest that. And let's just take that money and let's just keep that as our retirement fund. So if I'm retired right now, maybe I get $3,000 a month from my ad money, right? So that's kind of what I'll probably do in that video. Nothing crazy though. Okay. And then Shelly says, that's great. Also adds validation. Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Shelly, for chiming in there. That's awesome. So, all right. I think that is going to wrap it up on my end, Scotty. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we officially sign off today?
No, I think we got the game plan here. I think we're going to still come back every Thursday, and we'll, post the results of what we get. And it's, again, this is something what we talked about, that it's not going to take just a week of videos, right? It's not even going to take just 2 weeks. Like, it's going to take a month, maybe 2 months. Like, look at when our first video blew up, took about a month and a half, almost 2 months, right? And we kind of had to find that. So it's taking all the information we're learning, all the research we're doing, putting it into this, and then testing it. If you don't test it, you're never going to know, right? And the good thing with this is that, especially this guy over here, he loves making as many videos as he can. So he's posting one a day. So with that, it's like we have so many opportunities where we can find out whether something's going to work or not. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and Dream Talking with Vicky. I love that you lead by example. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Like, we're going to practice what we preach, and like right now, doing the same thing on our brand creators channel. I mean, we are doing the same exact thing. We're finding the buckets and trying to go a little bit broader at times, but we're also kind of staying narrow because that's been working for us, right? But it takes time to figure out what do people want to hear more about? What are people going to tune in for, right?
Yeah.
And that's really it in a nutshell. So
Which,
yeah, guys,
speaking of brand creators,
yeah,
we're only about 500 away from 100,000.
I know.
500 away. We are going to celebrate that, by the way. I already got some ideas.
We are going to celebrate. Jeff wanted to know, now do you handle editing, doing one video per day? Yeah, I do the editing on those. Like, it's literally, I trim the front, trim the back, and make a thumbnail. Like, there's not much to it. I don't even do jump cuts on those right now. Just keeping it super simple. Cause I've actually been following some other YouTubers that have done just that in their retirement. So that's the other thing real quick is if there's an area that you want to go into, go listen to what they're talking about and see if you can put your spin on it. Not even like, so like there's people right now, there's one guy, I forget his name. I'll share him probably soon because he's got, and I just spotted him this past week, but he's got like, I want to say he's got like 50 or 60,000 subscribers, but he's been doing it maybe a year and a half. And he basically shared his first video that he shared was like how I'm going to retire with only $500,000. So now that's his thing, right? Now you're going to want to know how the heck is someone retiring with only $500,000 in the bank, right? Or in their retirement portfolio. And he breaks it down and he's totally transparent. Well, he built over time now over the last year and a half. He's got, like I said, 50, 60,000 subscribers, and he actually reports on that too. He's making from the YouTube channel anywhere from $1,600 a month to $2,600 a month from, videos that are getting about 5,000 to 7,000 views per upload right now. Some videos, I think his biggest videos has like 300,000, but all he's doing, he's got no thumbnail that is created. It's literally a screen grab. And then it's like a 10-minute video of him just giving an update or sharing something. That's it. And he's doing pretty good. The only thing he's not doing is he's not collecting emails. So I might have to reach out to him and give him a little bit of advice. Because he's only making money on the ads, which is kind of risky because and he even said it's kind of up and down, up and down. It's like the stock market. You want to kind of secure that. The one way you secure that is you get an email list. And with that email list, you can now control the traffic, but you can also maybe sell them a course, maybe sell them someone else's course on retirement, that because you don't have a course on retirement, and then you get an affiliate commission. Like, there's a lot of things you could do that could make it a little bit more dependable. But yeah, so okay. And Jeff said, sorry, I meant how. Doesn't it take a long time? No, because the videos are literally only 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, but usually 10 to 15 minutes. And actually, guys, if you guys haven't noticed, I started posting some of those videos from our 24-hour content creation challenge. And if you missed that, we went 24 hours creating content. We created 52 videos in under 24 hours. And it was crazy. And we documented the whole entire thing. And that there, wasn't that successful as far as the live stream went, but we did create content. So now I've got a bucket full. It's heaping with content, and I can just pull out of there. But generally, like this one here, I'm gonna record another one probably tomorrow. I'll sit down for 10 or 15 minutes. I'll think of what I want to share. It's going to be that one thing, and then I'm going to post that video the next morning. And that's it. Keep it simple. Oh, CBD Chronicles, you're late, man. Just joined. What was this about? New niche? Yeah, you're going to have to go back and listen to it all now. Might be able to do it on 2 or 3X, but that'll be kind of crazy because I talk fast anyway. Dancing alone with rentals. I can't make thumbnails. I couldn't spot a good title if I fell into my cereal. So I just make videos and hang out in the comments. Well, that's something you gotta study, a little bit. And honestly, first place is download our hooks guide. Like, literally just put hooks in the comments. If you haven't done so already, we'll send you a copy of that. But that's something else that Scotty and I said are probably our first workshop that we'll do. It'll be a paid workshop. Is going to probably be on discovering good titles and good hooks and sharing in that process, but then also kind of workshopping it with a live audience. So that's something we're probably going to roll out here, I'd say, in the next 3 to 4 months. So anyway, that's what we're doing there. But yeah, so anyway, that's going to wrap it up, guys. We went a little bit longer here, but that's okay. We wanted to answer some questions. We wanted to hang out with you guys. We want to say thank you so much for hanging out with us. And also smash the like button. It doesn't take long. It takes like 1 second, half of a second. And then, I don't know, maybe subscribe to the channel. That does help us. It does help us out. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome. And keep an eye out for some of these new videos because we're going to be posting them. And they're going to probably help you too. Because if you're over 40 or maybe you're under 40 and you're Scotty's age and you want to retire early, the FIRE movement, we're going to be talking about that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Scotty.
I know, I'm ready.
All right. That's it. That's going to wrap it up. Scotty and I got a football game to watch tonight. Go Giants.
Let's go G-Men.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared
too.
I'm scared. Like I'm really scared. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Thursday night football. Come on now.
Oh yeah. All right. All right, guys. That's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, get out there, create some content, post some content. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get ahead here and actually see if something works. So go ahead, hit record, hit publish, go live. We'll see you guys. Take care.
And be a proud underdog too while you're at it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.